Many lies been told, many files been held, many books been burned. Can't know thyself unless you look deep within yourself like a well and activate your DNA, activate your cells, activate your higher self, keep the lower dormant. I rep tempo 5, known as subordinate to grand major tempo. Drew between my tempo, form my mental AC chambers when I enter. 7 is perfected, 9 is complete. The womb is the first school, her lap is my seat. In the alchemy, I'm raising chakras with heat. Red is the lowest, I'm indigo deep. Olokun deep, it's water when I flow like Niagara or like your weak bladder. Islam, I self-law and master. Matriarch though, not a patriarch bro. After a blunt, get my red off, not cock and let off. Acting like Cain, take my brother's head off. Running from the servant, hopping over fences. My people stinking is of the most densest. Call them hard-headed, not too spiritual. Angel took the key, left in light vehicle. Ancestors told you, white Jesus told you. Just sit back and laugh and do as Rome do. So get burnt to ashes, I'm cleaning out the madness. I hate 2-earring, pink shirt wearing nigga, frontin' like an MC with no DJ, no dancer, no hieroglyphics get sprayed. $1 million beats to talk mad garbage. Get pressure point to death by Mufti sergeants. Get the pioneer ram hard by the vanguard. First and lieutenant, they just stand guard. Probably on the square or left foot first. Let me chill now cause I bless this verse. Probably on the square, left foot first. Let me chill now cause I bless this verse. We exist, fusing material with our visual. Crafting tools for the physical, building schools for the spiritual. We exist, we exist, we exist, we exist, fusing material with our visual. Crafting tools for the physical, building schools for the spiritual. We exist, we exist. You thought I was finished, the battle just begun. I don't have a deal, so I won't rhyme by guns. They call me New Age, cause I am the sun they worship. On the equinox and solstice, 12 tribes is what the horoscope is. Know this, I'm a nigga as a river, I can't be flowless. Playing the blame game, get off your emotions. Cure self without prescriptive doses. If I must, I flush with natural potions. Crash on the devil like shores and oceans. Engulf like Cali, devour when I rally. In tens and thousands, meant to dead get tally. Call them 85ers, nah, 99ers. Stuck in some 60s, math is not the science. Most just parrot, vote by the ballot. Stupid health freaks got bacon in their salad. Secret handshakes, speaking in code. Masons use emblems to travel on the road. Never get a ticket, the brotherhood is deep. With 33 degrees, they control the sheep. Control the masses, the strong and the weak. With orange and red warnings, fear is the speech. Push through pointed hat, robes and sheets. Grand serpent get grand hex from grand sheets. Walk right, see the serpent stress. Fall to the god's feet for talking mess. On black targets, police shoot heads, not the chest. Follow the scoop, oozes walking in a vest. We exist, fusing material with our visual. Crafting tools for the physical, building schools for the spiritual. We exist, 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 fusing material with our visual. Crafting
One must be in the honor of one's mothers and fathers. This is why. This is also why the Europeans here, Negro preachers to tell us they were Afrocentric identity.
Green fish. What up? What up? What up? What up? Feeling this one. I know you'll be feeling this one. Iron Sheep. Not that one. Moorish MC. As a slave, you know from where you came had a name. Ancestral estate claim, blacks always refrain. They don't want to be Muslim or study Islam. Crack a hippie on the wall got me asking who's this man. Make it in the mountaintop speech. El Haj told you about Necro and Neo. 2 continent named people are minors and think like a dunce, huh? No matter what they do or what they say, they won't see nationality the order of the day. So they say. They won't see nationality, the order of the day. So they stay begging for rights, calling people racist, claim to know themselves but don't know the basics. Inquisition, you punks. Pope Francis used his authority to denounce the Catholic Christian doctrine of discovery. Ended the statute of ultra-vires, revealed the hidden oath of the lawyer vampire, shutting down the squires and de facto empires. Got my Drew Ali shield, walking through the fires of the Sodom and Gomorrah, modern day Rome, burning down to the ground, revealing my ancestral home. Northwest of Mexham, the Moors are back, enforcing the American Constitution, not the corporate acts or statutes or ordinances. Use will, no praying like mantis. From within is the rise of Lemuria and Atlantis. No matter what they do or what they say, they won't see nationality, the order of the day. So they stay begging for rights, calling people racist, claim they know themselves but don't know the basics. No matter what they do or what they say, they won't see nationality, the order of the day. So they stay begging for rights, calling people racist, claim they know themselves but don't know the basics.
This is also why the Europeans here took our nationality and put brands on us and start teaching the Negro preachers to tell us they were Afrocentric identities. So our people are walking around calling themselves Negro, black, and colored and feeling free to do that, not knowing that it makes them non-descendable. And when you give them the law facts, they think you're competing with the schools of thought would have nothing to do with anything that's on the discussion. It is legal status.
And being declassified from the human race and then brought down to a lower race that symbolized color. When we talk black, white, mulatto, he did not want us to be classified in these racial categories, but to be elevated back to the human race, where there was only one race, and that was called human. As he said in his famous speech, the Negro finds himself a slave in his own land. That means that, you know, we have been consistently and constantly fighting, whether it be from Frederick Douglass, his writings, whether it be from W.E.B. Du Bois, his writings, John Henry Clark on the African writings, again, Drew Ali, speaking about the Moorish history here in the United States of America. You know, these things that were talked about were just reminders of who we were in the past and what our fight has been in this country. We did not want to be called Negro. We did not want to be called a color.
Tell everyone about Drew Ali, 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 tell everyone. Let the world know Drew Ali came, brought a flag, religion, and free national name, brought an ID card, don't flash at the hybrid, learn about the righteous and when we were the pirates, ancestral creed, clandestine heed, warnings of the prophet, they can't intercede, Canaanite, Hittite, Amorite brethren, needing new homes to Atlantis direction, north, south, and central, flag continental, founder and uniting of the Moorish holy temple of science, nationality is alliance, always in defiance of their wardship compliance, active, not passive, estate is massive, use the compass, draw circles around your passions, carpenter's tool, in the mind workshop, Corsica bandana, covered eyes in bird box, return to ancestors' mind, descendants of ancients, forget the mundane, knowledge attainments, guided by the principles, our own laws and customs, if they teach but don't bring up Drew Ali, don't trust them. Tell everyone about Drew Ali, 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 tell everyone. Tell everyone about Drew Ali, 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 tell everyone.
I told a Filipino woman about Drew Ali. We got more into the pedigree. She said she more. I said that meant more to me. Couldn't have this conversation a few years back when I was a few years black. 2,000 years I cried in tears, but I'm back. Still here, thought manifested from a higher tier. I appear, spirit and flesh with divine warnings. Choose life or death. I heard my mother utter to the
Henry Clark on the African writings, again, Drew Ali, speaking about the Moorish history here in the United States of America. You know, these things that were talked about were just reminders of who we were in the past and what our fight has been in this country. We did not want to be called Negro. We did not want to be called a color.
Tell everyone about Drew Ali. 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 Tell everyone. Let the world know Drew Ali came. Brought a flag, religion, and free national name. Brought an ID card. Don't flash at the hybrid. Learn about the righteous and when we were the pirates. Ancestral creed, clandestine heed. Warnings of the prophet. They can't intercede. Canaanite, Hittite, Amorite brethren need a new homes to Atlantis direction. North, south, and central. Flag continental. Founder and uniting of the Moorish holy temple of science. Nationality is alliance. Always in defiance of their wardship compliance. Active, not passive. Estate is massive. Use the compass, draw circles around your passions. Carpenter's tool in the mind workshop. Corsica bandana, covered eyes in bird box. Return to ancestors' mind. Descendants of ancients. Forget the mundane. Knowledge attainments guided by the principles, our own laws and customs. If they teach but don't bring up Drew Ali, don't trust them. Tell everyone about Drew Ali. 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 Tell everyone. Tell everyone about Drew Ali. 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 Tell everyone.
I told a Filipino woman about Drew Ali. We got more into the pedigree. She said she more. I said that meant more than me. Couldn't have this conversation a few years back when I was a few years black. 2,000 years I cried in tears, but I'm back. Still here, thought manifested from a higher tier. I appear, spirit and flesh with divine warnings. Choose life or death. I heard my mother utter to the Negro, black or color, African American, and that's another. Moors, be yourself, no other. You're the last puzzle in place, now move others. Hatred, slander, lewdness, murders. The pleasure of the lower, rich in promise, so you can prevent effects from causes. Sow a seed planters, sow a seed growers. Deep in the soil, we love, choose peace, freedom and justice. Born on a Friday, I put that on Venus. Creative fate, Allah, you're a genius. You sent your last prophet to uplift me, so I gotta tell everybody. Tell everyone about you early, 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 tell everyone. Tell everyone about you early, 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 tell everyone.
Honors to Noble Drew Ali. Supreme honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Honors to all Moors worldwide, wherever you're at. Honors to you for staying true to what Noble Drew Ali brought you and not taking this and doing BS with it. Honors to you. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Change.org. Call for legal review of cultural and religious misrepresentation in U.S. media. These are supposed to be Moors. These are supposed to be Moors who they've been studying and all that stuff. They're talking about U.S. media? What U.S. media? What's that? I thought U.S. is a corporation and all that. What do you mean U.S. media? How come U.S. media? U.S. So it sounds like they're implying that U.S. media has some type of authority or something like that. Isn't that what? Because if they're gonna say U.S. media is the problem, if U.S. media is the problem, if that's the party that they're identifying, since we're dealing with legal reviewing and all that stuff, if the party that they're identifying is a fraud, how much do they have a case? Do they have a case? Do you have a case saying that you want to sue the Boogeyman because it's scaring your children at night and all that stuff, and the Boogeyman said The boogeyman said he's going to get him, and now your son, and then you're taking the boogeyman to court. That's what you're doing? Oh, sorry, we're not even at court yet. You want to file petition to complain? You want to complain because the U.S. media, they're violating the law. Bunch of punks out here. That's what it is. People who know the truth about their nationality and birthrights, and instead of going out there and doing something tangible, hands-on, to assist in the upliftment of our people, they're sitting around here playing petition games. These are Moors too. These are supposed to be competent people with their BS. Right? Be tangible, right? This weekend coming up right now, Moors, just Moors. Moors said, we want to go check out some of this stuff that Noble Drew Ali said that he had in the 1920s. Like, why not? Right? The Moors have gone to Chicago, went to the Unity Steps, took the picture, got the chills, and got all that. Moors been doing that. There ain't nothing new. Right? But this is activity right here. This is activity. Right? Moors being Moors. Right? Moors being Moors, wherever they're at. Even if it's just them. Even if it's just one Moor being a Moor, then that's what it's about. And then on top, and then once you be, since you know, and you're being, now you have to talk about what you know now. Yeah, sit in the back talking about petitions. Now, mind you, these people have been around. Right? People who are active have been around. This is not anything new. We're not dropping any game on anybody. There's been activity. Right? There's been activity. We're acknowledging the people who don't want to do the activity part. They want to just get the reclamations. Right? Because now, if, let's just say, petition gets 50 million people to sign it, right? And then it goes back to those people, right? The U.S. media, whoever's, and you know what? Then they say, you know what? Yeah, that's actually right. We're the U.S. media, and we think that Moorish Americans are being taken advantage of by the media. And they're not supposed to do that, and we're the U.S. media, and we're letting you know that they shouldn't be doing that to the Moorish Americans. And then everybody's going to start cheering because the colonist media said something. Oh, now you got something? Because remember, U.S. media, that's the colonists, remember, that's the colonists. So if the colonist comes out, we're just saying, right, hypothetically, right? 50 million people signed this signature. And then now the boogeyman's coming out, and the boogeyman's talking about, hey, everybody, we just want to let everybody know that, the media's been messing with the Moors, and that's not right. You taking the boogeyman serious? Well, you taking him serious? You going with that? So let's let you know what's really going on. Since people want to play games with petitions, right? Let's just let you know what's going on. So one of the things you're always going to do when people start talking crazy is you're going to look up what they're saying. Look up what they're saying. Because what they're doing and what you're seeing and then what you're interpreting from what you're seeing, that's not what's going on. People are playing you. And they've been playing you to the high heavens. Been playing you. They ain't just start playing you yesterday. They've been playing you. And you still keep getting played. But then all you're going to do is you're going to be going to Walmarts and you're going, hey, how come there's only Indians working in here? Oh, interesting. You're going to go buy your stuff and then you're going to go to Tim Hortons and, hey, how come only Indians work here? Oh, interesting. And you're going to go to the schools and, hey, hold on a second. How come it doesn't look like there ain't no Europeans, ain't no black guys, only Hindus and Asians and all them? What the hell's going on here? And then you're going to keep missing the boat. You keep missing the boat. right? Because what they're gonna say? Black time. That's why they're late, right? Or they're late because black time. You know, black people, we always late and all that stuff like that. Some joking stuff. You late for that important meeting in your life, you're done for. Playing you. Right? We're not going there. We deal with these Moors right now. We're not even going there. Right? Leave black guys alone for a second. So let's deal with these Moors that's telling you about petitions and whatever, right? Now these are Moors now. Right? These are Moors, and they got a petition because some TV show showed the Moors and some negative thing, so we need to do something about it because you guys can't do that to the Moors. We have religious rights. But they're going to go file a petition. Right? And not even file a petition, put some stuff online. This is the lazy boy era. You could just sit home and make gazillions. And still not fixing the problems of our people. But they made some gazillions though, because they're online, whatever, and got some credibility because the U.S. media said that they're going to go with the petition. Why is it going like that? Right? Okay, let's just double check. So you're always going to look up the etymology of a word. As soon as you hear somebody say something, and you hear a word and you're kind of like, okay, immediately go check to see what that means, because obviously you don't know. And that's how they play you. Because what's the secret code that the Europeans use to play our people? The secret code is put it in a book, because niggas don't read. So because niggas don't read, they don't know. And if you don't know, guess what? Ignorance is no excuse in law. So you could play ignoramus BS all you want. You better know what the hell you're talking about. Especially if you're listening to somebody else. So if you listen to somebody else and they're telling you petition, and then you think you know what that means, but you never check, didn't they just play you? After you find out that a petition is a supplication or prayer, especially to a deity. Who do you think the deity is? The deity is U.S. media. The deity is the people who these Moors are implying through this petition are the government. Right? Because there's no U.S. media without U.S. government. Right? The U.S. media doesn't stand on its own. Right? From Old French, request, a blow, thrust, attack, aim, a seeking, searching. In law, a claim, suit. To make for, go to, attack, assail, seek, strive after, ask for, beg, beseech, request, fetch, demand, require. Interesting. Meaning, formal written request to a superior is attested from early 1500s. So since don't read, a petition up until the 1500s was some written request and all that. Pre-1500s, a petition is to beg. To beseech. To fetch. What do you mean? What do you mean fetch? Fetch like throw the thing and then you gotta go run over there. And then isn't that how they do with our people? They have them run over there and then run over there and then run down there, and then come back and then run over there, and then and nothing ever gets done for our people. While everybody else around them, all the Asian whoever's, all the quote unquote white people, all the African quote unquote whoever's, all of them are taking over their stuff. And they're sitting there with nothing. Don't see what's going on, that everybody's dealing with nationality. They're the only ones that's dealing with this be a ward. No one else is being a ward. Everybody else is handling their affairs as a nation. But these particular people, they find out who they are. They know themselves. They're Moors and all that stuff. And then they're filing petitions. And they're asking U.S. media for whatever. It's BS. You want to know again why it's BS? Here's another reason why it's BS. Right? Now, for years, we don't do petitions and all that crap. Right? If somebody's talking crazy, we put them out there so everybody else could see these crazy talking people. Right? Now, how come these Moors haven't did a petition for all the stuff on YouTube calling Moors sovereign citizens and Moorish sovereign citizen that, Moorish criminals, sovereign this and that? How come they ain't put no petition for YouTube? Why not? They didn't think to go after YouTube for all the BS on there that's talking about Moors. Forget U.S. media. Who you know got some TV right now? What TV you talking about? I learned from no TV. That's just something to project on now. No TV going on. What U.S. media? That's a boogeyman. These people are playing you for some credibility BS. Make it seem like they're doing something for the Moors. What are they doing for the Moors? All this BS online about Moors. All types of crap. They ain't put out any petition on none of them people. Why not? Right? Stars BMF creators and distributors. So for all the whoever's, I already know you probably seen the BMF stuff with the Moors on there and all that stuff, and then you're sitting there in two different mindsets. Right? One mindset is like, oh shit, they actually know, BMF knows about the Moors and all that stuff. I better go study this Moorish thing and figure some stuff out. Or the other side, people like, right. And they go back about their business. They could care less what's on BMF. So the ones who said, hold on a second, what do you got fezzes on BMF for? And then you see that they're pushing some negative narrative, and you already been doing your study. You know the Moors are founders of civilization, and they're the ancient Canaanites and the Moabites and the Alhambra Palace and all that stuff. And when they're talking about the Moors, and then all of a sudden, this episode pops up. They got fezzes on there in the temple and all that. Sisters putting on the turban and all that stuff. Like, hold on a second. What's going on here? Well, you have to know and realize. Use your damn common sense. How the hell they know all that to put that in the show? Unless some more didn't put them on. How they find out all that stuff? Muftis at the door and all that stuff. You gotta have muftis at the front before you go in and all that. How come they didn't? You think that's just part of the script or something? Not even part of the script. They talk to Moors in order to put that stuff in there. Somebody in there knows Moors. That's why, again, the petition is BS, because it's Moors who let the stuff go get in there. And you really think that some media giant, whatever like that put that in there? Please. No different than Godfather of Harlem, when they had the Nation of Islam in there with the fezzes on and all that stuff. How come Nation of Islam didn't put out any petition telling them, hey, you guys can't do that to the Nation of Islam because it's showing them as drug dealers and all that stuff, and it's showing they didn't do that. How come Nation of Islam didn't do that? Why not? Because art imitates life. Everybody knows this. This is why they have to start coming out with a disclaimer and stuff like that. The story might have been changed to protect the innocent people who are part of this, and because people are going to be watching this stuff getting traumatized and all that, because this is real stuff. It's not some show. They actually have to check with real people about things they put in their, artificial, movie, whatever, right? Because that's not real, right? We're not supposed to, that's not real. That's just entertainment and all that stuff. Yeah, right. Playing you again. You can't remember? The Godfather of Harlem. Right? Gangsters and all that stuff, right? And Nation of Islam's up in there, ain't it? Aren't they? And then they have fezzes on. And then again, the ones who are on the side of realizing something's going on, they looked at that and they're like, oh, hold on a second, what? I thought this was about Nation of Islam. I see Malcolm X and all that stuff in here. What? Why they have fezzes on? Fezzes are supposed to be Moors and all that stuff. And they start putting all this stuff together. Right? Those are the ones that we're looking at. The ones who saw it and realized something's up. Either the cat's out the bag, or this is a campaign because the cat's out the bag. Because if you're still not convinced that your mindset has to be somewhere in the Moorish paradigm by now, you're already done for. You're already, Generation Z. You're gone. You're done for. Right? Done for. The issue. We, the undersigned Moorish American nationals, our concerned citizens, respectfully call for a formal legal review of the television series BMF, produced and distributed by Stars Network and its parent companies. Now, Stars Network and these people, they've been had porn up there, disrespecting women and all that stuff, having them getting treated, whatever. They got, casting couch stuff, and people can't get work and all that stuff unless they suck off whoever and whatever. Where were these people's petition for all these women? All these women in entertainment and television who these poor black women that they have to do only negative roles and all that stuff. Nothing for them. Just concerned with their selfish self. Right, again, this stuff is going nowhere. Because it's Moors who would have gave the info for them to be able to put that stuff in the TV show. They're not going and researching and finding that out. That's insides. You have to be inside to know that. Right? Like, okay, for example, right? For example, when Meech and the sister pull up to the temple, right? And then outside, they have the sign, More Science Temple. This is what the sign says, right? More Science Temple. They go inside, and there's two brothers at the door. And she's talking, and they're just looking at her. Just looking at her. She goes in her little bag, pulls out cloth, and then wraps her head. And then they say nothing, and they just move, and she could enter. And then Big Meat says her, oh, Queen just got to put her crown on. You think he doesn't know? Those guys at the front, if they're muftis, they're supposed to have black fez on. If they're guarding the door, they're black fez. That's who guards the door. It's not red. Red fez doesn't guard the door. The black fez is the mufti. So if the black fez is the mufti, and then they have the red fez guys there, then that's inside info. Because the guys with the uniform and the red fez is really El Ruckins. That's not more Science Temple, what they were talking about in the show. More, because they're in St. Louis. What's El Ruckins doing in St. Louis? They're mixing the narratives because it's inside info. You're not researching that and putting that in the damn show. Somebody told you, yeah, oh, the guys at the door, dress them in this. Oh, when we go into the temple, we're going to have the flag with the cedar tree on it and the Moroccan flag, but we're not going to put the U.S. flag in it. Why? Because it's U.S. media. Why are they going to put their stuff in with the criminality stuff that they're trying to portray on the Moors? You have to use your noggin. People are playing you. So they shouldn't be petitioning U.S. media. They should be petitioning the Moors in the background who gave this info for them to put in this thing. And of course, they're not going to go there, because if they go there, those Moors are going to tell them, shut the hell up. Moors are in the damn thing. 2025, there's Moors with feathers on and TV shows and all that stuff, and you still think that this is a game? You think it's a game still? Right? You're not paying attention to what's going on. Right? All the Negro, Black, Indian, whatever stuff, all that stuff is dead. It's been dead. That's why it yields no fruit. It's the same thing. It's like a flat line. And then if you're on this flat line, as if flat line is a good spot. Well, yeah, we got to keep the struggle on for and as if that's a good thing. That's not good. You're supposed to get over the struggle and start living this beautiful American life and all that stuff. But no. So know that it's Moors who would have let them know. Right? Going back in with the sister when she has the turban. Right? And they're wrapping the turban. Right? She's wrapping the turban. And the turban is just how the Moors wrap it. Right? She didn't just put the cloth on or do a hijab or something like that. Right? You see when those people go to Islamic countries, just give them something, tell them put something over their head. That's it. They're good to go. She didn't do that. Right? So all these little things that you saw, a lot of that was from someone who they know that knows about Moorish history, law, noble duality, and all that stuff. They didn't just wing it and put that stuff in there. Right? In their script writing times, they were sitting with Moors. Right? They were with Moors. And again, with the El Rukin, what's the story on them? Weren't they the ones that were trying to clean up the communities and all that stuff, and then they start trumping up drug stuff on them? Say they're a gang and all that? And then that's the same thing that they did to the St. Louis Moors with Jerry Lewis Bay. The same thing that they did. The so-called, how are they gangsters, but they're meeting with Moroccan delegates and all that. Huh? All of a sudden everybody knows about the Moors because they saw it on BMF. We've been here though, right? We've been here saying that we're Moors, ain't it? It took BMF for you to see. Same stuff that we've been telling you for 50, 60 years. Same stuff. Now they pop up with it, and then now you see something. Now you see it. We've been telling you Moorish forever. So the gap, the time frame, right, between BMF telling you, and then you say, oh yeah, we're gonna go with it, right? And when I told you, what kind of gap is that? That Moor over there told you about Moors however long ago. It popped up on BMF, and now you're, oh wow, oh the Moors, what was that time frame? That in between. Right? That time frame, that it didn't matter. All of a sudden, it matters, right? That little time frame right there, that gap. Imagine that gap was filled with knowing, opposed to not knowing. And this is why I say that the learning never stops when you get to this. So you got to be ready for this, because we seen this tear people up. The truth, you can't handle the truth. The truth tear some people up. They can't deal with it. People turn crackheads and all type of madness because of some truth. Because they're not ready for the truth. They're not ready to know that there's actually a hollow earth. There's an earth in earth that you're not ready for truth. Talking about flat stuff and all this. Right? The truth about who we are as a people, people aren't ready for that truth. So when you find out that you're God, there's no supreme being out there doing anything for you. You're it. And then you have to accept that. Well, sure, yeah, I'm God. I mean, I could create whatever. And then you create some demon or whatever like that, going over here, driving over people on the sidewalk and all types of madness. Because you thought it was a game. You didn't know that you were God. You could bring it. To quell that, to control that. That's the nationality. Go to all these other whoever's religion. Right? They got madness going on. Go research the temples. Go research the temples in India where you could pass something under the pillars. There's a pillar attached to a building, but you could put something under the pillar. What's that? How they do that? And so in everybody's religion, there's surreal. What grounds them is knowing their nationality. That's the core of who every being is. Their foremothers and forefathers. Right, the core. And once that's secure, now you can activate the God powers. We want to try to activate some God powers, and we're dumb. Talking about God nothing. Playing games, getting played. Right. So be aware. Not that, people aren't going to do negative stuff and all that stuff to whoever. Yeah, of course they're going to do that. That's the art of war. Right? That's the art of war. Cause confusion. Right? Know that when you see a cartoon and then a fez pops up, or you're walking and then you see something say more, or they put a fez in a TV show that you like or whatever like that. That's a message for you. You don't worry about media and what their objectives are for putting that in. You don't worry about that. You caught you get the message? But that was a message for you. Because this works divine first. This doesn't work up front in your face. Right? This works divinely. That's how you're going to get the message of this truth. Right? The frequency of this truth is divine. So you seeing that, and your antennas start picking up on all this other stuff, and it's just flowing so fast, and oh my gosh, you're in the right place. Enjoy the rabbit hole, Dorothy. Because it's going to take you to some places that you never thought. But be mindful out there. Nobujuali put out something about buyer beware. Kavit Mtor. Yes, we're all Moors. We're all Moors. But there's low road Moors. And the low road Moors, that's not where it's at. Right? The schemers, and remember, we're Moors. We're Moors. But there's an element of Moors that they're not on the side of the principles. They're on the side of Nobujuali. They're on the side of selfish gain. They're on the side of receive a benefit from the Moorish whatever. They're not in this to be better. Right? They missed the lessons on the lower self. Right? And you know that they missed the lessons because they're gonna be presenting themselves as the unity whatever, or we're the unity whatever, we're for the unity of the Moors, and we're for the unity of all the Moorish Americans, and the unity this and that. BS. They're about selfish gain. Because Juali already said he's the uniting of the Moorish Science Temple. But how you the unity whatever? How? But you have to keep emphasizing this thing that you're the unity whatever. Oh, because they're a fraud, because they're trying to implement it. They're trying to impress it. So they keep presenting it. Like going back to the BMF, right? When the elder was trying to open the door. Then the Moor comes to the door and he's talking about, oh yeah, we're the Great Seal Moors and all that stuff. That's inside info. That's inside. Because the only Great Seal Moors that we're talking about, Moorish Science Temple of America, is the Moors with Grand Sheik Nature El Bay. And they're from near New Jersey. So now you're not. So now this is really taking a spin now. So now they're talking about St. Louis Moors. They're talking about Chicago Moors. Talking about New Jersey Moors. Then that's going to spread over into New York as well, right? And then it's also going to spread into Philadelphia as well. Somebody on the inside put them on game. And the ones on the outside, we're letting you know somebody put them on game. Don't get played into thinking that this is some defaming of the Moorish whatever. Fez was on BMF 2025. Right? But they didn't have men kissing men on there. They didn't have no petition for that, did they? Yeah. No petition for that. You guys not mad that every show has to have one of those guys on there? Every show? Every show. Children's show got him on there. Teen show got him on there. Female show got him on there. Male show got him on there. No petition? No, nothing, huh? Interesting. But they want a petition because the Fez is in BMF and showing Moors as drug dealers. But I don't see the Chinese petitioning for triads being in movies and all that stuff, making them look bad. You ever heard Italian family complaining to U.S. media because they have gangsters in their movies and all that? And they be eating spaghetti and everything. Like, yeah, this is our food. Shoot people in the face. Did you see the Italians come up and say, media people, you can't put that because I'm Italian. I take offense because I like spaghetti and... No? Why? Because Italian grounded them. They're not flying off the handle on some victimization like the people who don't have a nationality. Right? And then the people who have a nationality, look at them now, talking about these low road Moors. They got nothing better. They got nothing better to do than to talk about some petition to U.S. media, and U.S. media is not even real. U.S. media is not real. That's not a real thing. It's not real. That's a fiction. Petitioning a fiction, or, implying that the fiction is the superior. Don't be with these Moors, but when their stuff comes crashing down on them, you don't want to be under there. These are these same part and partial Moors, always trying to connect themselves to U.S. Corps, always trying to be a citizen of some eagle, whatever, when they have a great seal right there that they never use. They don't even want that. They want the eagle. They want a massa. They want a massa. They don't want to be free. Watch for those Moors trying to tie you to corporations. Like, that's not your own. And nothing wrong with corporations once it's your own. As soon as the corporation is somebody else's, and you're playing around over there, they're about to lock you out in a second. They're about to lock you out. So don't fall for the BS. It's the time of the Moors right now. And when we say the Moors, we're talking about dark-skinned people. Go check. All over the world, they're liberating themselves. Based on what? We don't want the colonizer to help us anymore. We want to handle our own affairs. That's the right to self-determination. That's indigenous rights. All these people are standing up on it right now. And there was nobody who was talking about indigenous rights and all that stuff before the Moors. Because they weren't bringing it up as subject matter. The Moors are the ones who brought that UN drip stuff up. Right? The black Indian whoever's, they weren't talking about UN drip and all that. They were just talking about their Indians, they're the first people, they've been here and all that stuff. They're not showing you with facts. The Moors. And go look. Not because they don't say indigenous means that they're not exercising birthrights. I'm going to use the example again, Burkina Faso, since everybody wants to talk about that. Look at Traoré, he's the guy. Look, we got a solidarity with Traoré and all that. And you're stateless. He has a nationality. He's building up his nation, and you're sitting there cheering for the guy building up a nation. Why don't you build up your own nation? Oh, you don't want to do that. You want to get some reparations from the white man because the white man owes us. And all right, yeah, all right. Keep playing our own. Everybody else is hip to the game, right? And especially out here at Canaanland. Just look around. Just look around. And see how much Europeans you see running stuff around here. Right. There's the Eritrean area and in Asian areas and Hindu areas and all our areas are concentration camps. Everybody else's area has a store with their stuff and the supermarket and all that stuff and condos and then our stuff, the rundown stuff, complaining about how come they can't fix the played you out your own birthright. Left you a victim, and then we're stuck in that victim, and then we're in denial. You know the stuff with the victim. You already know how it goes. It shouldn't even have to be expressed. You already know how the victim stuff goes. And then that's our people, en masse. Because as soon as you have to take some responsibility, as soon as you have to, hold your chest up and stand tall and all that stuff, you realize that you can't. Because you have no foundation, like all the rest of the people who are standing strong and doing whatever it is that they have to do, going up against colonists and all that stuff, getting their land back and whatever. Just because they're standing on being a nation. And remember, all the black leader whoever's told you about nationhood and all that, all of them told you, all of them prepared you for this. All of them. Fez was on BMF 2025. You probably want to consider some things. Because if you don't know yet, you're about to be in serious trouble. You're in trouble already. Just look at the conditions. We're about to be serious trouble. Right? Honors to all who are studying the truth about their nationality and their birthrights. Honors all the Moors in the chat. Love and peace to all. Study, study, study. Don't forget, for Moors near Newark, New Jersey, and New York. This weekend. This weekend, the Moorish meetup. riseofthemoors.org/NYC. Get your update. Pop in. Say Islam to the Moors. Right, there's been Moorish unity. It's not some new stuff. The Moors been united. All over this world. And it's that time right now. It's that time. Just look around you. It's that time. Honors to all. Stay true to the cause. Supreme love, Islam.